Imagine this. You're maybe grabbing lunch, say, at a pretty busy, well-known restaurant. All of a sudden, some officials walk in.
Okay.
Before you even know what's happening, the owner literally bolts, locks the place up behind them.
Wow.
And then, almost like dominoes, other shops nearby see this, and bang, shutters come down everywhere. I mean, what kind of situation sparks that kind of reaction?
Yeah, that kind of immediate, widespread shutdown, it really signals something much bigger is going on. It's not just a simple check, right?
Definitely no.
It suggests the stakes are, well, incredibly high, and there's maybe a deep underlying worry in that whole business area.
Exactly. And that's pretty much the scene we're diving into today on the Deep Dive. We're pulling back the curtain on this high-profile incident from Agra in India.
Right.
It started with a major goods and services tax GST raid on a prominent restaurant, but it quickly, it spiraled into a much bigger investigation across multiple branches.
So in this deep dive, we're really going to try and unpack the specific allegations, what actually led to this operation. We'll trace how far the investigation reached. It seems quite expansive. And then look at the immediate fallout. What happened right after?
Yeah, for the business, but also for the local shops, the community.
Exactly. The aim here is to give you a really clear picture of how these things unfold and, maybe more importantly, what they tell us about tax compliance and the enforcement side of things.
And just so you know where we're getting this from, we're drawing our insights from recent reports, specifically detailing the actions taken by the State GST's Special Investigation Branch. So let's get into it.
Okay.
So the starting point was this apparently quite renowned Jain restaurant. It's in Agra, in the Trans-Yamuna area.
Got it.
And the reports really paint a picture. Officials from the State GST's Special Investigation Branch arrive, and the owner just flees.
Well,
locks the doors from the outside.
Literally locks them out.
Locks them out. And what's really striking is, like we hinted at, it wasn't just him. Other shops nearby saw the raid starting and just shut down, pulled their shutters.
That's fast.
Which actually delayed things. The officials had to wait until the next afternoon to really start their work properly.
That synchronized shutdown, though, what does that tell you? Is it just pure panic spreading, or maybe something more like an understanding, maybe even coordination?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It feels like more than just one guy panicking. And while all that was happening at the first restaurant, investigators were also hitting another place linked to the same company, this one on Shamsabad Road.
Ah, okay. So coordinated action from the authorities, too.
Exactly. And this wasn't random. It was based on specific allegations, serious stuff, like tax evasion and supply discrepancies.
Right.
And here's where it gets interesting. The initial audit back at the first restaurant, the Trans-Yamuna one, it showed the firm hadn't filed any GST returns for 4 months straight.
4 months. Wow. Okay, that's significant. That's not an oversight.
No. And then at the second place, the Shamsabad Road branch, they found even more specific issues. The reports mention IRCTC-related supply and TDS mismatches.
Okay, let's break that down a bit. 4 months of no returns, huge red flag, obviously. But the IRCTC-related supply and TDS mismatches. That sounds more, technical, maybe even deliberate.
Explain that a bit for us. IRCTC and TDS.
Sure. So IRCTC is the Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation. So this likely relates to services, maybe bookings or catering linked to the railways.
Okay.
And TDS is tax deducted at source. It's tax that's supposed to be withheld upfront on certain payments like rent, commissions, professional fees, things like that.
Gotcha.
So mismatch is there. It often means either sales linked to IRCTC weren't fully reported, or maybe the TDS deductions being claimed didn't match up with reality. It suggests, a potentially complex way to hide income or inflate expenses.
Definitely sounds like more than just sloppy bookkeeping.
Much more. It points towards a pattern, not just isolated mistakes. Makes you wonder if this was, a calculated effort.
And clearly the authorities thought so too, because this initial raid, it just blew up into a much wider investigation. We're talking about multiple branches of this firm. And it wasn't low-level folks running it. You had principal commissioners involved, Pankaj Gandhi, who's grade 1, and Anjani Agrawal, grade 2, directing the whole show.
So top brass.
Top brass.
Yeah.
And Assistant Commissioner B.D. Shukla was the one leading the actual examinations on site.
And it wasn't just them. The reports mention a whole team. Senior people, Subhash Chandra, Vanita Srivastava, Atul Arya, Lakendra Singh. This sounds like a major coordinated sweep.
Definitely. They clearly suspected something widespread.
And it went beyond just Agra, didn't it?
It did. The investigation quickly spread out to other districts where this firm had branches.
Yeah.
We're talking Etawah, Tundla, and Aligarh.
Okay, so that really underscores the suspected scale of what they were looking into. This wasn't just one rogue branch.
Exactly. So with this big team, multiple locations, high-level oversight, what did they actually find? What was the outcome?
Well, they really zeroed in, it seems, on scrutinizing the tax filings, or lack thereof, the TDS deductions, which we just talked about, and crucially, those discrepancies between what the business declared as supply versus what the actual supply seemed to be.
And that gap between declared and actual, that's often the smoking gun in these cases, isn't it?
It really is. It's hard evidence of underreporting, and the result here was pretty significant, financially speaking.
How significant?
They managed to secure deposits, essentially payments, towards the suspected evaded tax amounting to 49.5 euro.
Wow. Okay, so nearly half a crore rupees. That's substantial. That's around 60,000 US dollars, give or take.
It is, and it's worth noting, the reports we saw mention that no arrests have been made yet.
That's interesting. In cases like this, does that usually mean the focus is just getting the money back first? Or are they still building a bigger criminal case, perhaps? What's your take?
That's a good question. Often, yeah, the initial push is financial recovery. Get the dues back into the government coffers.
Makes sense.
Arrests might come later, especially if they uncover evidence of, deliberate criminal intent, forgery, or if the individuals involved don't cooperate during the investigation. It's often a strategic call for the authorities.
Right. Balancing recovery with prosecution potential.
Exactly. So this whole incident, it's really more than just about one restaurant chain in Agra. It kind of shines a light on a bigger systemic issue.
How so?
Well, the reports explicitly state that the estate value stakes reflect the scale of the alleged fraud, suggesting a systemic effort to bypass compliance and evade tax liabilities.
Systemic effort. That phrasing is strong. It suggests this wasn't just opportunistic, but maybe planned. Ingrained.
It certainly implies something more organized than simple mistakes, yes. It points to a deeper challenge in ensuring compliance.
And you have to wonder about the local reaction, right? All those other shops shutting down.
Absolutely. And the reports mention that, too. Companies in the local market committees, they actually protested the raid.
Protested, okay.
Yeah, and they announced plans for a panchayat meeting, which is sort of a traditional community council or gathering scheduled for a Saturday.
So pushback from the local business community. That really shows the immediate ripple effect these enforcement actions can have, doesn't it? The tension.
It speaks volumes, yeah. On one hand, you have the authorities trying to enforce tax law, likely seeing significant evasion. On the other, you have the local business community feeling targeted, maybe. It highlights that inherent tension.
Definitely. Okay, so let's try and wrap our heads around what we've unpacked in this deep dive.
All right.
We started with a pretty dramatic raid on one restaurant in Agra.
Mm-hmm. Owner flees, neighbors shut down.
Right, and that quickly blew up, revealing what seems to be a whole network of alleged tax evasion across multiple branches.
Leading to a pretty hefty financial recovery by the GST team, almost 50 lakh.
And it highlighted not just, individual bookkeeping errors, but potentially, as that report put it, a systemic effort to bypass compliance.
Yeah, and I think the key takeaway for you listening is that this isn't just some isolated news story from India. It's really a window into this constant, ongoing struggle against economic fraud.
Everywhere, really.
Everywhere. And it underscores how vital tax compliance is. It also shows us just how complex these financial rules can be.
And why vigilance is so important, right? From the regulators, obviously, but also from within businesses themselves to keep things fair.
Absolutely. And we also saw very clearly those immediate ripple effects, how enforcement actions can really stir up the local community and affect sentiment.
Definitely. So as we finish up this deep dive, here's maybe something to chew on. We live in an age now of, increasing digital records, interconnected financial systems, more transparency, supposedly.
Right.
So what do incidents like this tell us about how things are evolving? Are the methods of evasion getting more sophisticated? Or are the authorities just getting better at catching it? Or both?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's likely a bit of both, a constant cat-and-mouse game.
And maybe think about what this means for that delicate balance between, on one side, needing strict enforcement to ensure fairness and collect revenue, and on the other, the realities that local businesses face every day, just trying to operate in these complex systems. Where's the right line?
It's a tough balance to strike, definitely something to think about.